Starling.
Well, Clarice, have the lambs stopped screaming?
Lecter.
In the 1991 Jonathan Demme thriller Silence of the Lambs, Anthony Hopkins portrayed what has come to be regarded as one of the best villains in cinema history with his interpretation of Dr. Hannibal Lecter. The role landed Hopkins his first Oscar, spun off a sequel and a prequel, inspired a television series, and put kick-ass actor Brian Cox's original interpretation of the character from Michael Mann's Manhunter into the apocrypha of film history. The character is so iconic that it has been mimicked and referenced several times in other films and television. One such film is the 1994 screwball noir Ace Ventura: Pet Detective.
Cozy if you're Hannibal Lecter.
Unlike Silence of the Lambs, Ace Ventura is not great. It's really not even good. Critics at the time panned the film, and it's aged like milk. However, it still managed to launch Jim Carrey's career, along with Dumb and Dumber and The Mask, all of which came out within a year. These three mega hits quickly made Jim the most sought-after and highly paid actor in Hollywood. But what was it about Ace Ventura and Hannibal Lecter that made such an impression on an entire generation of filmgoers? How were these two actors able to bring such distinct life to these films, and how were the filmmakers able to capitalize on their abilities? Oddly enough, both actors used a similar approach in crafting their characters by basing them on animals. Hopkins has stated that Lecter is an amalgamation of a tarantula and a crocodile, and Carrey has explained that Ventura is an overconfident bird. And indeed, with this knowledge, it's not hard to see how these choices manifest in the performers. Ace, for one, walks with a cocky swagger, jutting out his head from his neck with each step similar to how a bird does. His clothes are like colorful plumage. His hair is styled to resemble a bird's crest. He even often eats like a bird, and eats bird food, like in this scene where he is ravenously devouring sunflower seeds. Even his voice is modeled after a bird, with his words and sounds coming out as chirps, songs, and just about everything in between.
Hey, maybe I'll give you a call sometime. Your number still 911? Oh, righty then.
Lecter, on the other hand, is a much less boisterous animal. Hopkins chose two trap hunters. His character is terrifyingly still, barely even moving his eyelids to blink. He lays in wait and spins webs of deceit in order to ensnare his victims and devour them with precision and brutality. Sometimes these attacks are psychological, and sometimes his voice, as well, is influenced by his animals. It's difficult to pin down exactly how, since neither crocodiles nor tarantulas make many sounds at all, but infusing the essence of the animals into his body imbues his voice with a hypnotic, sinister silkiness.
People will say we're in love.
Such bold character choices can be a hazardous enterprise in film. When a character choice leads to a performance that is not working, we can tell right away.
Lex, it is a pleasure. Ow! Wow, that is a good grip. You should not pick a fight with this person.
And if the filmmakers aren't able to capitalize on the actor's choices, it might result in a performance that feels like it's taking place in an entirely different movie. The Hannibal Lecter that Anthony Hopkins created serves the story and feel of The Silence of the Lambs impeccably, and director Jonathan Demme captures the performance with deftness. Lecter's menacing stillness is portrayed through tight, claustrophobic framing, a static camera, and having Lecter act directly down the lens at times, making us, the audience, feel as ensnared as Clarice. The choices Jim Carrey made for Ace Ventura are a little less obvious and had a greater chance to fail. Does the bird choice serve the story the best? I don't think so, but it's clear director Tom Shadyac supported it enthusiastically, framing Carrey in a way that highlights his kinetic energy, allowing us to see his whole body in motion as he cartwheels, kicks, gesticulates, generally plays about, and makes physical discoveries in the moment. It's very unlikely that some of these shots, like this one of him throwing a package out of the elevator, was storyboarded, but rather found on the day through the playful collaboration of actor and director. And you can find this sort of performance-driven filmmaking throughout the entire film, especially in scenes with only Jim Carrey. In fact, scenes where Jim Carrey acts with others, and especially the few scenes where he is wholly absent, have a completely different, almost stagnant feel to them, like they were from an entirely different, lesser film. Jim Carrey made a big and daring choice for his character, while everyone else played it safe, highlighting in one film the power of making choices. Even if the choices made are not always the quote-unquote right ones. Other actors in the film are outclassed, outacted, thoroughly confused, and clearly annoyed, which is part of the magic of this film, by what Jim Carrey is doing, but all he is doing is committing to a choice, which is acting 101. Both Jim Carrey and Anthony Hopkins found inspiration from the natural world to create something remarkable. And to be clear, these are not actors playing animals, which might look something like this. Or this. Or, in extreme cases, this.
You killed my family.
They are being animals. It's almost easier to imagine Ace Ventura is a bird trying to pass as a human than a human playing at being a bird. And this is nothing new. Actors have used animals to craft some of the most memorable characters in film history. Edward Scissorhands is a puppy. Stanley Kowalski is a gorilla. Travis Bickle is a crab. Lou from Nightcrawler is a coyote. Chris Pratt has stated that his character from Jurassic World is a dolphin? Alright, cool. There are countless ways for actors to access their characters and bring distinct life to them. They don't all need to be based on animals or the natural world. Doing so, however, as opposed to Stanislavski's emotional memory or method acting, is a great way for the actor to get out of their head and into their body and to create something which grabs and keeps our attention even after the credits finish rolling. Thank you so much for watching Raised on Film. Do you know of any other notable performances based on animals? Share them down below in the comments if you do. And if you like what we do, like, subscribe, and share. And stay tuned. We've got more coming.